Hey guys, so today I will help you with a new topic which is connector. So from A1 till B1, B2 level, you learn many new connectors. So today we will learn those. The most important thing is there are two type of sentences. One is Hauptsatz. What is Hauptsatz? Das conjugative verb state am zweiter Position. When the verb is at the second position, at that case we will say this is a Hauptsatz. But if the verb state at the ended, then those sentences will be known as Nebensatz. So, in short, if verb is at second place, then it is Hauptsatz. But if the verb is at the end, then we will say this Nebensatz. So, let's learn the connectors. First is und, which means and. Ich esse Apfel und trinke Cola. I eat apple and I drink cold drink. So in this case, you can see und is a connector and this is connecting the two sentences. And you can check here the position of the verb. Here the position of the verb is second place. So this sentence is Hauptsatz. Next is hilft seiner Mutter und seinem Vater. He helps his mother and his father. Next connector is oder, which means or. Ich schlafe oder ich gehe ins Kino. I sleep or I go to cinema. So either I do this or I do this. In this case, you will always use oder connector. Ich schlafe oder ich gehe ins Kino. Next is trinkt Apfelsaft oder Milch. Either he is drinking apple juice or milk. So in this case, again, you have to use oder. Next is aber, which means but. Again, this is a Hauptsatz. Ich möchte ein Auto kaufen, aber ich habe kein Geld. You can see the position of the verb, which is habe, in the second sentence is second place, right? We consider aber as a zero position. Ich is first and habe is second position. So again, this is a Hauptsatz. I would like to buy a car, but I have no money. Ich möchte ein Auto kaufen, aber ich habe kein Geld. Next is sondern, which means rather. Das ist kein Kuli, sondern Bleistift. This is not a pen, rather pencil. This one is very easy. Now, den, which means because. If you're in A1 level, then definitely you have to use den. Ich esse Apfel, denn ich bin hungrig. I eat apple because I am hungry. So again, in this sentence, you can see the position of the verb is second. Den is zero position, ish is first, and bin is second. So again, this is a Hauptsatz. But if you're in A2 level, then instead of den, always use weil. Ich esse Apfel, weil ich hungrig bin. Sentences both are same, whether den or while, but the structure is different. While is a Nebensatz, so in Nebensatz, verb will be always at the end. So you can see here, bin is at the end. You can see the comparison. With den, verb is at the second position. That's why this is Hauptsatz. And with while, the second sentence, I'm focusing only on the second sentence. The second sentence, verb is at the last. So this is Nebensatz. Now, next is deshalb, which means that's why. Ich habe Prüfung, deshalb gehe ich nicht ins Kino. I have exam, that's why I don't go to cinema. In this case, look at the second sentence here. Deshalb is a connector and it is in a first position, and gehe. which is in a second position. So that's why this is again a Hauptsatz. I have exam, that's why I don't go to cinema. You can also use darum, daher, deswegen. All of them are similar. You can use deshalb, darum, daher, deswegen. Meanings are same. That's why. Ich habe Prüfung. Darum gehe ich nicht ins Kino. Oder daher gehe ich nicht ins Kino. Oder deswegen gehe ich nicht ins Kino. Meaning is same. Trotzdem, which means nevertheless or in spite of that. Ich habe eine Prüfung, trotzdem gehe ich ins Kino. I have exam, in spite of that, I go to cinema. You can see here it is a contradictory. Right, I have exam, still I am going to the cinema. Again, this is a Hauptsatz. You can see the comparison of deshalb and trotzdem. Both of them are Hauptsatz, but you can see the contradiction. In deshalb, you are giving a specific reason, but trotzdem will be always a contradictory. Next is das, which means that. Max hat gesagt, dass er nicht kochen kann. Max has said that he can't cook. So das, which is a Nebensatz, in Nebensatz, verb will be always at the end. You can say the conjugation of können, which is kann, is at the end. Next, als, meaning is when or if. So als is very specific. Als we will use only for past sentences. Whenever you want to use als, you have to remember that you will use only this for past tense. For example, als ich 14 Jahre alt war, habe ich Deutschland besucht. When I was 14 years old, I visited Germany. Make sure that it will happen only once and it will always in past tense. And yes, it is again a Nebensatz. You can see war at the end, and again, if the first sentence is Nebensatz, then definitely the second sentence will also affect. So you can see, you can also write, ich habe Deutschland besucht, als ich 14 Jahre alt war. So you can use any of them. If you are using als in your first sentence, then the rule will be verb, comma, verb, war, then comma, then habe. But if you are using your als in your second sentence, then the first sentence will be your Hauptsatz and the second will be your Nebensatz. You have to remember this. This is very important thing. Now, when. Again, meaning is same as als and when, but als we will use when it will happen only once and in the past, but when we can also use in present as well as for repeated conditions. For example, wenn ich Fever habe, nehme ich Medikament. When I have fever, I take medicine. You can also write, ich nehme Medikament, wenn ich Fever habe. I take medicines when I have fever. So you can see if when is at the first sentence, then rule will be verb, comma, verb. But if when is your at the second phrase, second sentence, then first will be normal Hauptsatz and the second sentence will be Nebensatz. Next is so das, which means so that. Ich bin so müde, dass ich nicht arbeiten kann. I am so tired that I can't work. Next, ob, which means if. So, ich weiß nicht, ob heute kommt. I don't know if he's coming today. So, whenever you want to use if, you have to use always ob, and verb will be at the end. Next is obwohl, which means although. Obwohl ich keine Lust habe, gehe ich ins Kino. Although I have no interest, I go to cinema. You can also write like ich gehe ins Kino, obwohl ich keine Lust habe. I go to cinema although I have no interest. So again, if connector is at your in your first sentence, then rule will be verb comma verb. But if you're using obwohl, your connector in your second sentence, then rule will be first sentence will be Hauptsatz and the second one will be Nebensatz. Next is before, which means before. Bevor ich frühstücke, putze ich mir die Zähne. Before I have breakfast, I brush my teeth. Or ich putze mir die Zähne before ich frühstücke. So you can write like this also. Next, bis, which means till or until. Wir warten, bis sie zurückkommen. We wait until or till you come back. Or bis sie zurückkommen, warten wir. Same rule, verb comma verb or Hauptsatz and then Nebensatz. Während, which means during or while. Ich höre gern Musik, während ich koche. I like listening to music while I cook. Or während ich koche, höre ich gern Musik. Next, seit, which means since. Ich esse nur Obst und Gemüse, seit ich krank bin. I have been eating only fruits and vegetables since I have been sick. You can also say, seit ich krank bin, esse ich nur Obst und Gemüse. So both of them are correct. Now, nachdem, which means after that for nachdem, there are specific rules. And you have to remember this. First one, if your first sentence is a PQP, which means plusquamperfect, then the second sentence either you will use participe zwei form or the preteritum. If you are using participe zwei in your first sentence, then definitely the second will be in present. For example, nachdem ich mir die Zähne geputzt hatte, habe ich gefrühstückt. So you can see here, first sentence is PQP and the second one is participe zwei. And for rule number 2, nachdem ich geduscht habe, frühstücke ich. First sentence is participe zwei and the second one is presence. Okay guys, that's all. Practice it and repeat it. Bis dann and tschüss.